Hey guys, Wookie here. Yeah, this topic is one that's not usually, I don't see much talk about it, so I figured I'd try to make a video about it, even though I don't usually do videos like this. Uh, I just like to throw out a disclaimer. The game you want to play the most if you want to get good at Smash Brothers is obviously, Smash Brothers. Like, if you want to master Melee, then you got to play Melee. If you want to master Smash 4, you got to play Smash 4. And then as far as this list goes, as far as my expertise goes, I'm not really, I'm not a big name at all, but as far as locals go, I usually place within like the top five. So I'd like to say I have some grounds to speak. Not nearly as much as other people, which is why, I'd love some feedback on this video. I'd like to hear your opinions. But yeah, I'm just going to throw this out there because, I don't know, maybe these games could help you out. They certainly helped me. The first game I'd like to mention is Dive Kick. Dive Kick is a fighting game that's pretty unorthodox in nature. It's weird when you have such a limited set of moves, but, basically one-hit KOs. So the thing I really learned from Dive Kick is, anticipation and reading your opponent. After you play with the person, like the same opponent over and over again in Dive Kick, you kind of learn a little bit more about their strategy. And in Dive Kick, you can't have the same strategy every round. You got to kind of read your opponent. You got to learn, all right, they prefer this setup over this setup, so I'm going to mix it up and throw this out. And I think inside Smash, that's pretty important. Like, you got to know how to read your opponent if they're going to throw out a grab or a shield or if they're going to do a dash attack, etc. So Dive Kick certainly helped me, learn how to read people. The next game I'd like to mention is Soul Calibur. I'll admit, Soul Calibur, out of all the games on this list, this is the one I haven't played as much. In fact, I don't even own any games in the Soul Calibur series, but I play them all the time at my friend's house. And the thing that I've really liked, from what I've played in Soul Calibur is every character feels different. And I'd like to say in Smash, of course you have your clone characters and, some characters will have like a similar falling speed or like, similar special moves. But if you really think about it, every character that isn't a clone is pretty diverse in nature. Hell, some clones are even diverse in nature. So in Soul Calibur, like every character, if you want to get good as a character, you got to stick with a single character and, get to know, their combo potential, what some of their better moves are, what moves you want to avoid, etc. And plus, some of the aerial game inside Soul Calibur is, rather advanced. So that's why Soul Calibur's on here. Just simply, it really helps you understand the concept of why you want to main as someone instead of, go random into every single match. Because, you want to get to know your character and know how they play. Number 3 is Viewtiful Joe, which, a lot of you are thinking, why are you throwing this on? This isn't a fighting game. Well, yeah, it's not a fighting game in the traditional sense, but if you think about it, it's like I want to call it a 2D beat 'em up, but maybe I'm even wrong about that. It's a very interesting game. Aside from the art style, I think the gameplay is what sets it apart from many others. And I know, like many other games, you could probably just get through most of Viewtiful Joe by button mashing, but you'll really start to notice a difference if you start to learn the moves and understand, what combos into what and really make sense out of that convoluted, like jumping and attacking. Like Viewtiful Joe, it's got some weird momentum to it. So it takes some getting used to, but it's really rewarding if you know what you're doing. So the thing I kind of learned from Viewtiful Joe is that, not all attacks, especially, aerial attacks, are the same. There are different hitboxes, there's different knockback, etc. So I remember when I was younger playing Viewtiful Joe on the GameCube, it actually helped me understand, some more about the aerial combat in Smash Brothers, which, I don't know, maybe I was just a stupid kid, I just press buttons. But yeah, I guess Viewtiful Joe kind of taught me, just the basics of what it truly means to get a combo, get continuous hits, and that in order to, get a favorable combo or like, what's going to inflict the most damage, you really need to know what you're doing and, just kind of have a game plan. The next game, well, actually, this isn't a game. This is more of a collection of games. Old school NES games, believe it or not. And mostly platformers. Yeah, platforming old school NES games. For example, Adventure Island. I know the momentum in that game's a little weird. Like, it can be slippery at times, and you gotta know where to land. You can't land at the end of a platform, or else you'll slip off. So that kind of helped me in Melee, because if you think about Melee, can be a slippery game at sometimes, so you really need to plan your jumps, know where you're landing, and pretty much Luigi in every game too. So if you're a Luigi main, try out Adventure Island, as weird as that sounds. Another example would be DuckTales, landing Scrooge's cane in the correct spot. Mega Man, you can't just depend on, jumping and shooting. You got to slide sometimes. And I'm not going to lie, Mega Man, that kind of helped me to learn how to appreciate my tilts, because, if you want to fight Proto Man, you got to know how to slide. You got to know how to slide under him when you're anticipating that he's going to jump. So in that sense, old school NES games, it kind of teach you to work with what you got and use your limited moves in an effective manner. Now, my number one doesn't just apply to Ryu mains, but pretty much anyone who wants to get better at Smash, I recommend picking up Street Fighter 4. And if you're a Nintendo guy and you're like, oh, I don't have a PS3, Xbox 360, don't worry, there's a 3DS port that's pretty nice. So why Street Fighter? Why not Mortal Kombat? Why not King of Fighters? Well, I just think Street Fighter feels the best. Just as far as all the moves feel solid, the combo system works well. I'll admit the specials leave a bit to be desired, but I really think Street Fighter did a good job of implementing those into the newer games better than some of the other ones. Like Mortal Kombat, you got to wait until the very end to use a fatality, but Street Fighter, you kind of got to use your special when the time is right, when you can catch your opponent off guard. And I'm not bashing Mortal Kombat. This is just one mechanic I like a little bit more about Street Fighter. Street Fighter really taught me, how to act out of, just shielding, or blocking rather, and when the appropriate time is to, counter as opposed to, just shield. So I really think Street Fighter has helped me quite a bit. Like I mentioned earlier when I was talking about Soul Calibur, each character kind of has a unique play style. Again, aside from clones like, Ryu and Ken. I know that they have their differences, but if you can play Ryu, chances are you can play Ken pretty well too. If you want to get good as a single character, you really just got to play as that character and that character alone. And I feel like that kind of translates to Smash in a sense. Everyone has their main, everyone has their go-to character, everyone has their pocket, etc. So if you really think about it, the way the community operates, it kind of mimics the community of Smash a bit, in the sense that when we're talking like the roster and such, and like who the next DLC character is, you're kind of speculating who they're, like, not only who it's going to be, but also how they're going to play, how they're going to affect the metagame, etc. So I really think Street Fighter is something worth checking out if you're a huge Smash fan. All right, thanks for listening to me ramble for the last 8 minutes. I've never really done a video like this, and this was all unscripted. I just came up with this idea off the top of my head. And I didn't really do this just to show you what games I want you to play. I was really doing this to get some feedback from you guys. Just leave a comment. It can be on this video. It can be somewhere I post. It doesn't matter. Just, give me suggestions as to what you play to improve your Smash game. And if it's just Smash, so be it. I know everybody has a different play style. Everyone has different ways of getting better and improving their game. So, yeah, I'd love some feedback from you guys. And if you're not doing anything this Saturday or Sunday, I'd love if you would check out our stream. We're going to be playing some fighting games, Smash, as well as Street Fighter and such. And it's going to benefit a local children's hospital. We're streaming for Extra Life. So if you want to drop by, that'd be cool. Don't feel compelled to donate, but if you would, that would really help out. We got some neat perks for you if you choose to donate. I'll put a video in the description linking you to that. And thanks for watching. Have a great day. Happy smashing.